again, gamers. Welcome back to the Board Game Captain. I'm the Board Game Captain, and today I'm going to be talking about and reviewing the Vaesen card deck. So, real quick first, I just want to say that if you're interested in getting any cool gamer gear, t-shirts, mugs, etc., they are over on our Teespring store. There's a link in the description below. And if you are in a position to and would like to help out the channel by joining our Patreon, there's also a link to the Patreon in the description down below where you can get access to all sorts of cool stuff. So, I want to thank Free League Publishing for sending me the Vaesen card deck along with many other Vaesen products to play with and review. And without any further ado, I'm going to jump right into this and talk about what comes in the Vaesen card deck. And I'm going to rate it and review it and talk about who I'd recommend it to. So, okay, so we're going to open it up now. If you are familiar with Free League Publishing, you know that whenever they do a new role-playing game, they always come out with a special themed dice set and a card pack. And the first thing that's always in the card pack for all their games is the initiative deck. And the reason for this is that using the Free League's Year Zero engine, they do initiative via a shuffling of 10 cards and dealing the cards out to players and NPCs and monsters, etc. And they tell you who goes first, second, third, fourth, all the way up to 10th. And these, this is no different. So again, you've got these cool Nordic symbols on it. This deck says initiative card on the back. It's meant to look very classic in its appearance. So it's got the numbers with little crowns above them on the front. Again, with these nice little spirally symbols in the corner. I like the classic look of these. The back is clearly labeled. They're not super frilly in their art style. Again, it's made to look like sort of like they'd be playing cards from a deck of cards you would get in the 1800s, which would be fairly no frills. So I kind of dig the thematic nature of that. And then in addition to the initiative cards, we have tons of monster cards. So they have all of the monsters from the Vaesen book plus 2 additional monsters. The 2 additional monsters that are in here are the Kraken, which I'm going to show here, and let me just find them in here. There he is, the Vaesen. I think that's how you pronounce that. He's like a giant monster pig. Now, I like that they have these. They have cool artwork that you can show your players while you're playing. When you say you run into a giant, you can be like, here's what the giant looks like. And that's kind of cool. Most of them are the artwork from the book, but without having to lift up the book, you have these handy. They also have on the back, like a quick little text box. So for instance, for the Kraken, it says, the Kraken is a fearsome sea monster that lurks below the waves of the North Sea. Icelandic and Norwegian fishermen describe it as a gigantic beast with many fins and tentacles, a prehistoric monster that slumbers in the eternal darkness of the seabed, only to awake from time to time and ascend from the depths. The Kraken is so big that it is said to have been mistaken for an island while lying in wait on the surface of the water. Unobservant seafarers have even set up camp on the monster, not realizing their mistake, until they lit a fire, which naturally attracted the Kraken's attention. Okay, so these little descriptions of the creatures and the pictures are really cool. But I do have one gripe with this. I would have really liked a quick reference on the back of the monster for its stats and its attacks. I would have preferred that to the description of it. I mean, especially since all the other monsters have already got their descriptions in the books. I mean, it's nice to have the pictures on hand to show your players, and I know their stats aren't that complicated. And the book does give you a nice explanation of how to create your own monsters. So with this, you could now create the stats for the Kraken, and it wouldn't be too difficult. You could base it off some of the other incredibly large monsters from the book. Because of how large the Kraken is, it should be an incredibly large monster. But still, I would have really liked to have a quick reference for the stats on the back. So this is a small gripe, again, because of how easy it is to stat out the monsters, and also, of course, how the stats are already in the book for all the other monsters, and also because in any given adventure, you're only going to be really running into 1, maybe 2 monsters. The chances of running into tons of monsters in a single adventure is very low. Generally speaking, an entire mystery in Vaesen revolves around a single monster. So it is a small gripe, and these are still really cool for being able to show the picture to your player and having a little description of them on the back. It's just that I feel that their game utilage is a little more limited than it would have been if they had the quick reference. That said, the artwork is beautiful. I absolutely love the artwork. I love how with some of them like this, the Spiritus, which had these little bits of artwork spread around the area in the book, they've grouped them all together to give you a look at lots of different Spiritus there. And I do really enjoy the artwork. So that and the initiative cards make this a pretty decent buy if you are running a Vaesen game. You will not need this if you're a player. If you're the game master, you might want this if you are completionist, if you don't want to just use, say, the 1 to 10 cards from a deck of cards. If you have like a nice thematic deck of cards, you might want to use that. But on the other hand, if you really want to get the Vaesen card deck, it's nice to have the very thematic initiative cards and also to have quick on hand pictures of the monsters to show to your players. Those are really, really cool. So for my rating, I'm going to give the Vaesen card deck a 7 out of 10 7 out of 10 stars because I do think it is cool. I think the artwork is great. I think the initiative deck is thematic. Is it necessary for the game? No, you could do without these quick references to what the monster looks like. You could just show the picture from the book. You could do without these cards, and you could just get like a classically themed deck of cards and use that. But if you like these and you like having the pictures on hand, then this is worth it. It's not an expensive add-on. It's quite affordable. And you know what? The initiative deck is my favorite part of what's in here. I do like the very old school thematic nature of the initiative deck. So there you go. 7 out of 10 stars for the Vaesen card deck. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns either on this video or on the Vaesen card deck, feel free to put them in the comments down below. And if you enjoyed this review of a role-playing game product and you'd like to see me do more like it, be sure to give it a like, share it on all forms of social media, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to the Board Game Captain. That's Captain spelled with a K on YouTube, and hit that little bell icon so you get alerts every time I upload a new video. And until next time, game on.